figure fans, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Imperial TIE Fighter pilot from Star Wars. Specifically speaking, how he appeared in Star Wars Rogue One. For the package, you got a really nice image of the pilot right there. You can see like a little red glow coming from behind him, which looks really cool. You got the Star Wars logo, 6 scale, that same kind of, black and gray pattern carries over to the different sides. And then when you open it up, you got a little magnetic clasp right here that allows you to open it up, and then you see a back image of the pilot, and then you got an open window that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. And then I guess you could say on the back here, you also have another image, kind of in a little bit more of a, dynamic look. Now, as I said, this is more designed on how he looked in Star Wars Rogue One. A little bit ago, they released their original TIE Fighter pilot that was more based on the original series. This one takes it and gives it a little bit more of an accurate update, as was the case when they actually redid the costume for Rogue One. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the new Imperial TIE Fighter opened up and out of its packaging. And first up, as I talked about, this is how he looked in Rogue One. So not only did it get an update in the film itself, Sideshow went ahead and updated their figure as well. So it's not just a straight up reissue, which is terrific, I think. I'll get into all the differences, but starting off first with his accessories, he doesn't come with a ton. As, a TIE Fighter pilot really wouldn't come with a lot. You do get the 2 fisted hands that are currently on him. You get a pair of more open, relaxed hands. You can see that they are kind of sculpted a little bit differently. You can see that this is more of a, finger spread kind of look, whereas this is a little bit more, close fingered. So they are a little bit different. You also do get a right and left hand. One is done in a trigger finger sort of pose, whereas the other one is more angled and kind of like he's supporting his weapon, which he does come with a gun, that being his Blast Tech E11 rifle. I believe that's what the other one came with as well, but really nice, very simple design for it. That's one thing that I really do like. They kept it, old looking in Rogue One. And then you can take this, you can swivel this around, this will clip up into place, and then you can swivel this piece down and put that right there for a little kind of shoulder support. But overall, really nice looking gun. Like I said, very simple, but definitely effective, and really does look like something that we would see in that film. He also does come with the display stand. Very simple. You just got a black base, which I'm okay with. Some people like, some elaborate design on there. You do have Star Wars here on the bottom, but I'm perfectly content with it just being very minimalistic. I think that puts more of the focus on the figure. And then you have the adjustable cradle right here so that you can slide this up and give him any kind of support that he may need. Now, for the figure himself, there is actually a fair amount that's different with him. And unless you had that original one, you may not necessarily catch it right up front. First, he has a fully redeveloped flight pressurized G-suit, they call it. Now, the original one was kind of a cloth material. This is more of like a parachute kind of fabric, I guess. You can see it has a much glossier kind of look to it, which I think looks terrific. It is completely different, though, when you look at it. You got some extra kind of tech details on the back right here. The patches are actually sewn in. Those look terrific. You got little tools that slip in little sections right here. You get a couple of them that the other one didn't have. So that's new. Again, you come to the other side, that nice Empire patch is put on there beautifully. And like I said, just the overall look of the jumpsuit is dramatically different and looks terrific. The original one, like I said, with that cloth kind of look was perfectly fine, but this one with just that parachute kind of look and feel, I just feel works better. Again, it is accurate to how it looked in Rogue One, so it's nice that they did that, obviously, but now the actual, I guess, air thing has also been resculpted, very similar to the way it looked before, but some different colors and things of that nature. And then you come around here to the back, and there's actually some, like molded in detail, whereas the previous one was just a flat back piece. That's all completely different. And then the other thing is, it's now kind of a wraparound sort of thing. You can remove it, it clips in here, but the previous one had like a little elastic piece here so it could stretch. This is all, and then you could just clip that back on there. This has all been really redesigned. It does have a similar look because this didn't change too much between the two films, but some of the paint detail, like with the buttons and such, are a little bit different. One other thing that they don't really even list on the website for Sideshow is this belt actually has some extra pieces. The original one has this, but these two bits on the side are new. Again, just adding to the actual actual accuracy of the suit. Now, coming in to take a look at the helmet, again, not a lot really changed except for some of the paint details. As you can see now, he's got this gray stripe that comes down. I want to say that that's actually sculpted differently too, so this might be all new as well. But the subtle differences are really going to be tough to pick out. I really don't know what they are entirely. I know that the paint detail is different. I like the fact that his little teeth now have a gray paint on them instead of black. I mean, the whole black helmet looked really good previously, and I still do like it, but I like a little bit of splash of color in here. You still got those rubber hoses and everything. You got some nice gunmetal gray paint right there. You got that down here on the side as well. Just to get absolutely gorgeous. I love the look. Just something about the black kind of helmet that the TIE Fighter pilot and even Darth Vader wore. I just think is really very, very cool looking. Now, coming down, first articulation, I don't think they really changed anything with the body. I could be mistaken, but it does still feel the same level of articulation. The head does rotate. These do hinder things a little bit. Looks up and down, kind of hinges as well. You can see you got an extra little neck joint right there. The shoulders here move in and out nicely. They do rotate. The suit doesn't really restrict too much, which is nice. I mean, it restricts it in some fashion, but the normal range of motion is pretty well replicated there. He rotates at the upper part of the bicep. I think he's got two joints here at the elbow. The wrists do rotate. They do kind of move forward and back. All of them have the wrist pegs basically attached to the inside of the hand, so you can swap them out by just pulling one off and putting it right back on there. You don't have to worry about the wrist peg too much. The upper body, you can see, rotates here at the waist and it moves forward and back. I don't know necessarily if he has an upper diaphragm joint. It's kind of hard to get to because this is all solid. I mean, you can see that it's not part of the actual body, but you're not going to get a ton of range of motion with there, but you can get a pretty good range of motion there at his waist. The hips move forward and back. A little bit of a restriction there because of the pants, not a lot. I guess if you were going to have him fly a TIE Fighter, I mean, it may be a little bit tricky to get him in a seating position. Oh, no, I mean, that's actually pretty easy to do, so it's not too bad. You just got to kind of lift up and bunch sort of the top front of his pants. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh. He bends here at the knee at two different joints. He rotates, and then there is a little bit of a pivot there. The body in general feels really good. It does kind of feel like there is a ratchet joint right here. I kind of wish, well, all of them seem to have a ratchet joint. I kind of wish that the ratchet joint wasn't there because it doesn't allow me to really spread the legs as much as I want, because like right now it's in between the ratchets. I can feel it, and I don't want to damage that ratchet over time by leaving it kind of position there. So friction joints would probably be a little bit better, but everything else on here is really solid. The joints are really very tight. So like I said, I don't know if this is a newly developed body, but it feels a lot better than some of the other bodies that we've gotten from Sideshow before. I think they did a really terrific job with them. And obviously the overall design of him is, he's a pilot, so I mean, I don't know how much people are going to want to display him holding a gun, but you can bring this around, put that in there like so, have him hold that. I'll kind of wedge that in there as best as I possibly can, and then you'll have this one that you can sit there and do something like that. Overall, though, this is a marked improvement over their previous TIE Fighter pilot. The updates to the suit, the helmet, the life support pack, all of it really does look amazing and is much more accurate to how it looks in Rogue One. The accessories, while a little bit light, I think are perfectly fine. I don't know necessarily what you could include for him other than a fighter, which is something that I think I said in the previous video. But this guy really does impress me. The body feels really good. The articulation is top-notch as usual. And just in general, this is a really solid piece. So if you're a Star Wars fan, this is definitely one I would consider picking up, especially if you missed out on that original one, which has been sold out now for a while. This is a good way for Sideshow to give us this figure again, updating it and all that kind of stuff, and then sending it out to us again. It really was pretty good on their part. So all that being said, if this is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of 1/6 scale action figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. It's free, and you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. And if you don't, this invisible hamster will die. Or if you already subscribed, do me a real quick favor and click on that bell right below this video. And double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, may the Force be with you.